A sudden reminder. Hey, night listener. Tonight we enter the shadows. The air is damp. The streetlights flicker faintly through the rain as you walk along the sidewalk. You can hear your footsteps echoing in the quiet night. But there's something off, like they're not yours. The sound's too sharp, too deliberate. A breeze rattles the window behind you, pushing against the glass as if it's trying to get inside. You turn your head, and there it is, a letter on the doorstep. Strange, considering you don't remember expecting anything. You don't recognize the handwriting, but the edges of the envelope are worn, as though it's been handled many times. Your fingers hover for a moment before you pick it up. The paper feels heavier than it should. Inside, there's a single, cryptic line. The past has not forgotten you. No name, no address, just those words. Your pulse quickens, and for a moment, it feels like the rain has stopped. Even though you can still hear it falling, you try to shake the feeling. It's ridiculous. Just a letter. But your mind, it won't let it go. There's something about those words, something buried deep within you, something that makes your breath catch. It's not just the message, it's the feeling, the weight of it. As if it's not only the past that's following you. You close your eyes, trying to calm the rising anxiety. But the moment you do, a face flashes before your eyes. A man you tried to forget. You see him clearly. Just for a moment, his smile, the way it never quite reached his eyes. His name was Ryan. You wanted to forget him, wanted to forget everything connected to him. But this letter tells you that forgetting is an illusion. You turn the letter over, trying to convince yourself it's nothing, that it's just a coincidence. But something about it feels personal. What if you've been followed too? You can't shake the thought. So, before we vanish into this mystery, like the video and subscribe, only if you can handle the truth buried beneath the lies. Now, lock your doors, take a deep breath, and follow me into the dark. A familiar face. You've been down this road before, a path you thought you left behind. But there's no mistaking that feeling, the chill crawling up your spine, the one that tells you something's wrong, even though you can't quite see it. You shove the letter into your jacket pocket and quicken your pace. The rain falls heavier now, soaking through your clothes, but you don't care. The pounding of your footsteps fills the silence, drowned only by the occasional rumble of thunder. You turn the corner, and that's when you see him. It's impossible. He's supposed to be dead. Ryan's face is standing in front of you, framed by the dim light of the alley. His expression is unreadable, but his eyes, they never change. They hold that same familiar emptiness. You stop in your tracks, your heart slamming against your chest. This isn't real. You know it's not, but it's him. You blink, and he's still there, staring. His mouth doesn't move, but you hear his voice, like a whisper in your head, saying, "You can't forget. No matter how hard you try, it's too much, too soon." You turn on your heel and run, ignoring the ache in your legs, the pounding in your head. You don't stop until you are back in the safety of your apartment. Slamming the door behind you, you lean against it, gasping for breath. Your fingers are trembling. Sweat clings to your palms. What did you just see? That was a hallucination, right? A cruel trick your mind is playing on you, because you've been running from the truth for so long. But it felt real, too real. There's a faint knock on the door, and your blood runs cold. You don't answer it. You can't. You won't. What if the man you thought you buried isn't gone after all? The knock persists, insistent, like a reminder you can't escape. You feel your body tense, your hands gripping the edge of the kitchen counter. Everyone lies, especially the quiet ones. You close your eyes, trying to push the image of Ryan out of your mind, but it lingers, lingering like a shadow just behind your eyes. What if it was never about forgetting? What if it was about making sure you never could? The photograph. The knock finally stops, but the silence is even worse. It feels heavy, suffocating. You stand there, frozen, every nerve in your body screaming. You strain your ears, listening for something, anything, but there's nothing, not even the sound of your breath. It's the quiet before a storm. You pull yourself together, taking slow, deliberate steps toward the window. The rain is still coming down, the city's lights blurred by the water streaking down the glass. You pull the curtains back, half expecting to see Ryan's face pressed against the pane. But there's nothing, just the usual chaos of the night. Your phone buzzes, pulling you out of the tense trance you've fallen into. It's a message from an unknown number. You don't want to open it. Not after everything that's happened today. But your curiosity gets the best of you, and you swipe it open. The message is short. Look in the drawer. You stare at the screen, trying to make sense of it. The drawer, the one where you keep the old photographs. Your pulse quickens as the message sinks in. You don't remember putting anything new in that drawer, but something tells you it's important. The moment you open the drawer, your fingers freeze. There, among the faded pictures of your life, is a photograph you've never seen before. It's not a new photo. You recognize it as something from the past, but it's not a memory you claim to have. In the photograph, there's a woman, her face familiar, yet foreign to you. She's smiling, but her eyes are empty. She stands next to a man, someone you could have sworn you never knew, and behind them, half obscured by shadows, is the faint outline of a building, the same one from your dreams. You don't know what's worse, the photograph itself, or the memory that starts to come back with it. The missing photograph, the one you've been trying to forget for so long. You put it down quickly, trying to force the thoughts away, but your hands are shaking now, a cold sweat breaking out across your forehead. You thought you had put this part of your life to rest, but the crime is back, and it remembers you. What if you were never meant to forget? You can't look at the photo anymore. You push it back into the drawer, but it feels like the drawer itself is pulling you in. The weight of your past is pulling you deeper, deeper into the darkness, where you don't want to go, but you can't escape. You knew, but pretended you didn't. The photograph feels like it's staring back at you, like it knows something you don't. You close the drawer, but you can still feel the weight of it, the weight of the past, the missing piece. The photo stays locked away in the drawer, but it's not gone. It's there in your mind, on the edge of your thoughts, lurking like a shadow that refuses to leave. You can't shake the feeling that something has shifted, that something you've been trying to forget is now clawing its way to the surface. You grab your coat and head out again, trying to put distance between yourself and the oppressive weight of your apartment. The streets are wet, the pavement reflecting the harsh neon lights, but they do little to comfort you. The rain stings your face as it comes down in sheets, each drop a reminder that you're not in control of this. The city feels different tonight, too quiet, too empty. A sudden sound catches your attention, a faint scraping noise from an alleyway to your left. You stop, listening. The noise continues, a rhythmic scraping, like something dragging across concrete. You take a hesitant step toward it, but then your phone buzzes again. You pull it out, expecting more of the same cryptic messages, but instead, it's a voicemail from an unknown number. You play it, the message crackling as it comes through. Check your pocket. It's in your coat pocket. The voice is distorted, like someone trying to disguise their identity. but there's something unsettlingly familiar about it. You look down at your coat, the one you've been wearing for hours. Your fingers tremble as you slip your hand into the pocket, feeling something hard inside. It's a small key. The key doesn't belong to any lock you recognize. You never put it there. You never saw it before. But it feels important, like a piece to a puzzle you've been trying to avoid solving. You stand there for a moment, the rain falling harder, the sound of it asking your heartbeat, what could this key open? What have you been keeping locked away without knowing? You don't want to know, but you can't ignore it. The key calls to you, pulls you towards something you can't resist. What if you've been the suspect all along? What if this is the key to your own undoing? You pocket the key, but your skin crawls as you do. The scraping sound from the alley grows louder, more desperate. It's getting closer. You don't know if it's the past catching up with you or something worse. Either way, it's too late to turn back now. An unspoken truth. The rain starts to fall heavier, the sound turning into a steady, oppressive drumming on the ground beneath you. You glance behind you, but the alley is empty, save for the shadows clinging to the edges of the streetlight. The scraping sound has stopped. For now, you don't feel safe. Not in the city. Not in your own skin. The key in your pocket weighs heavier with each passing second, like a secret that's been buried too long, too deep. You turn your back to the alley and keep walking. Faster now, your footsteps splashing against the slick pavement. But it's not enough to outrun the feeling that something is following you. It's not the footsteps behind you. Those are just your own, echoing. It's the way the air feels, how heavy and wrong it has become. Something's watching you, lurking in the corner of your vision. You stop at a corner, glancing over your shoulder. Nothing. You take a breath, steadying yourself, and finally reach your apartment building again. The familiar, dull hum of the fluorescent lights overhead does little to comfort you as you enter. It's still too quiet, too still. Your mind races, running back over the events of the past few hours. The letter, Ryan's face, the key, and the photo. You feel the weight of it all pressing down on you as you walk past the door to your apartment, to the safety of your locked rooms. Instead, you turn to the stairwell, the dark, narrow stairs that lead up to the roof. You can't explain why you're drawn there, but it's like an invisible pull, one you don't dare resist. You climb the stairs slowly, each step creaking under your weight. When you reach the top, the world outside seems to shrink, the noise of the city below muffled by the distance. The sky is dark, heavy clouds hanging over the skyline. The air smells of damp concrete and iron, sharp with the smell of rain. You step out onto the roof, the cold wind tugging at your clothes, and you look around, searching for something you can't name. That's when you see it, a figure standing at the far side of the roof. It's too dark to make out their face, but their presence is undeniable. They stand still, as if waiting. You can feel their eyes on you, even though they don't move. A chill runs through you, colder than the night air. Something is horribly familiar about the way they stand, the posture, the shape of them, the missing photograph, the one you thought you burned, the one with the woman in it. What if the truth was never hidden at all? What if it was always in front of you, in the silence of the spaces between the lies you want to speak, but no words come? And when you take a step forward, the figure disappears. You're left alone with only the whisper of the wind and the sound of your own breathing. Secrets in the walls. The wind howls as you stand on the roof, alone now. The figure vanished like a dream forgotten at dawn, but the unease doesn't leave. It clings to you like the rain that refuses to stop falling, the chill that seeps into your bones No matter how tightly you bundle yourself in your coat, you don't want to go back inside, not to the apartment, not to the room that has become a prison, a holding cell for the truth you've tried to forget. The walls seem to close in on you as you descend the stairs, their creaks following your every step. You hear the same scraping sound again, this time from inside the building. It's faint, but it's there, almost too quiet to catch. You push open the door to your apartment, the lock clicking behind you, the familiar hum of the refrigerator, the soft gurgle of the pipes, all feel too loud now, too intrusive. You stand in the middle of the room, feeling disoriented, unmoored from reality. Your fingers reach out, running over the edge of the coffee table, the familiar objects around you suddenly feeling alien. You glance at the bookshelf, where the photograph still waits, hidden behind layers of paper and forgotten books. But it's not just the photo that's waiting for you. You walk toward the wall next to the bookshelf, the wall that you've never really paid attention to before. It's just a wall, but tonight it feels different. There's something wrong about it. You reach out and press your palm flat against the surface. The wallpaper is peeling slightly at the edges, the faint remnants of old glue sticking out. You can't explain why, but you feel compelled to dig deeper. You pick at the edges with your fingers, the paper coming off easily, revealing something unexpected. Behind the wallpaper, a small, dusty metal box is embedded in the wall, the corners covered in a layer of grime. The box is old, too old, but it's unmistakable. The key you found earlier fits perfectly into the lock. Your hands shake as you turn the key, the sound of the lock clicking like a death knell in the silence. You pull the box free, and it falls into your palm with an unsettling weight. You stare at it for a moment, the possibilities racing through your mind. What's inside? What secrets are waiting to be uncovered? You open it slowly. Inside, there's a small, folded piece of paper, its edges yellowed with age. You unfold it carefully, almost afraid to see what it says. The words are scrawled in a hurried, jagged handwriting that you don't recognize. They're coming for you. The message is simple, direct, but it shakes you to your core. You turn the paper over, but there's nothing else. No signature, no explanation. You stare at it, the weight of it sinking in. The truth is no longer something you can run from. It's here, in your hands, buried deep in the walls of your own home. You knew, but pretended you didn't. The walls close in around you, but now it feels like they're pushing you towards something you can't escape. The whisper. You stand frozen, the paper trembling in your hand. The words are there, stark and clear, but your mind refuses to process them. They're coming for you. Who is coming, and why? The world outside seems so distant now, like it's part of some other life, one that's slipping further away the longer you stare at the note. You drop it, letting it flutter to the floor like some cruel confession of a past you can no longer outrun. The echo of the paper hitting the ground feels loud, too loud, in the quiet of the room. Then you hear it, a whisper. It's faint at first, barely audible, over the sound of your breathing, but it's there. You hold your breath, straining to catch it, but it's so quiet, so barely there. You wonder if you imagined it. It's not over. You haven't run far enough. Your heart skips a beat. It's not your voice. It's not even someone you recognize, but it feels familiar all the same. A voice from the past. A voice you've been running from for so long. You look around the room, your eyes darting from corner to corner, expecting to see someone in the shadows. But the apartment is empty. It's just you. The whisper comes again, this time clearer. They're coming for you. The truth can't be hidden anymore. You spin around, your body stiff with fear, but there's nothing there. No one, just the cold, oppressive silence of your own mind playing tricks on you. But it doesn't feel like a trick. It feels too real, too personal. The hair on the back of your neck stands up. You're not alone. You never have been. You want to run. You want to lock yourself away and pretend you never heard the voice, never opened the box, never found the key. But deep down, you know you can't escape. Not anymore. The whispers are getting louder now, echoing through the walls. It's like the house itself is alive with secrets, and every corner is closing in on you. Every room is a tomb, each one a reminder that the crime never truly left. What if the truth was always hidden in the whisper? What if the whispers are the only thing that will tell you what you've done? You press your hands to your ears, trying to block them out, but they grow louder, more urgent. You can't escape them. You can't escape the past. It was never about the truth. It was about control. And now, it's too late to stop listening. A fatal connection. The whispers linger, swirling around you, creeping into every corner of your mind, refusing to let go. You collapse onto the couch, clutching your head in your hands, desperate to block it all out. But it's impossible. The voice is inside you now, woven into your thoughts, seeping into your soul like poison. It's not over. They're coming for you. The words cut through you, sharper than any knife. They carry the weight of something terrible, something irreversible, something you cannot undo. The connection to the past, to everything you've tried so hard to bury, is stronger now, tighter around your throat. You can't breathe. You can't think. All you can hear is that voice haunting, relentless. And then, a cold wave of realization crashes over you. You know who they are. The dead man. Ryan. The one you thought was gone. The one you thought you'd buried. Both in the ground and in your mind. His name was the first thread to unravel this twisted knot. And now, the others, his friends, his enemies, the ones you thought had nothing to do with you, are coming into focus. The truth is not just one person. It's an entire web of lies, and you've been tangled in it all along. The realization hits you like a punch to the stomach. You've been living in a lie. You've been living in a world where nothing is what it seems. You knew, but you didn't want to see it. A loud banging sound pulls you from your thoughts. You freeze, every muscle in your body tensing. You don't move, don't even breathe. The sound comes again, louder this time, followed by the unmistakable sound of footsteps, slow, deliberate. They're here. You push yourself up from the couch, but your legs feel like lead. The room seems to spin around you, the shadows growing longer, stretching out like fingers reaching for you. You try to move, but your body refuses to cooperate. You can't escape them. What if the past is just as alive as you are? The door to your apartment rattles, the lock shaking with the force of something heavy pounding against it. You stumble toward it, but you know it's too late. You can't outrun this. The door crashes open, and there, standing in the doorway, is a figure you never thought you'd see again. It's Ryan, or at least someone who looks like him. The same hollow eyes, the same smile that never reaches his face. You try to scream, but no sound comes out. You didn't really think you could escape, did you? You fall back, your heart hammering in your chest, the truth finally catching up with you. The crime, the lies, everything you've tried to forget. It was never just about one person. It was about you. You were never meant to escape. You were meant to face it all. And now, it's here. Fragments of the past. You can't breathe. The air is thick with the weight of it all. Ryan stands in the doorway, but he doesn't step forward. He doesn't need to. The air around him crackles with a sense of finality, like the door itself is closing on the last sliver of light you have. You've been running for so long, he says, his voice low and guttural, a shadow of the man he once was. His words cut into you, the sound of them dragging something raw from deep inside. But there's nowhere left to hide now. You open your mouth to speak, but the words catch in your throat. Nothing comes out. Not because you can't find the words, but because you don't know what to say. What could you say? What could you possibly say to make it all stop? The past you tried so hard to forget. The pieces you buried in every dark corner of your mind are starting to fall into place. Fragments of memories slip through the cracks, each one more haunting than the last. Faces you thought you'd never see again. Voices you'd silenced long ago. The pieces of your life that were never as simple as you thought. You remember the look on Ryan's face, the way he smiled before everything fell apart. You remember the last time you saw him, the way the air seemed to hum with tension, the way you knew something terrible was going to happen, but you never thought it would lead here, to this. Ryan's smile widens, but there's no warmth in it. It's the kind of smile that makes you wish you could disappear, that makes you wish you'd never come back. You didn't think you'd be able to run forever, did you? The words make your skin crawl, but you're too paralyzed to move. You stare at him, your body shaking from the weight of the past crashing over you. You're not just guilty of something you forgot. You're guilty of everything you refuse to see. Ryan takes a step forward, and the floor beneath your feet feels like it's about to crack open. You want to scream, to run, to escape, but your legs won't move. The past has its hold on you now, and it's stronger than anything you've ever known. As he steps closer, you catch a glimpse of something in his hand, a photograph, the same one from earlier, the one you tried to bury. He holds it out to you, and the edges are frayed, the colors faded with time, but it's unmistakable. The woman in the photo is smiling, but her eyes, those empty eyes, are the same as Ryan's, the same emptiness. You thought you could erase it, Ryan says, his voice a whisper that sends chills down your spine. But it's always been here, always been a part of you. You want to look away, but you can't. You can't escape the truth, no matter how hard you try. What if you were never meant to forget? What if you were always part of the crime? Unraveling threads, the photograph burns in your hands as you stare at it. The woman's hollow gaze pierces through you, the emptiness in her eyes echoing the same void you feel inside. You want to look away, but you can't. The image pulls you in, as if it holds the key to everything, every lie, every memory, every secret you've tried so hard to bury. Ryan's face remains cold, unreadable, as he watches you. His silence is more suffocating than anything he's said. You feel the walls of the room pressing in on you, the weight of the past closing in tighter, suffocating you from all sides. Your breath catches in your throat as your mind races. The photograph, the woman, the connection that you've been running from, the one you tried so hard to forget, is starting to make sense. You know her. You don't want to, but you do. You remember the way she spoke to you, the way she made you feel like you were a part of something dark and terrible. You remember her laugh, sharp and hollow, and the way she disappeared from your life without a trace. You remember the night she died, the night everything went wrong, the night Ryan was supposed to have died too. The pieces fall into place with a sickening clarity, like a puzzle, clicking together with the force of 100 shattered bones. You weren't just a witness to the crime. You were a part of it. But the truth doesn't let you rest. It's like a sharp knife in your chest, twisting deeper the more you try to understand. You can't unsee it now. You can't undo the damage. Do you remember her now? Ryan's voice breaks through your thoughts. But it's different now. It's not the voice you heard earlier. It's the voice of someone who knows they've won. Someone who knows they've led you to this exact moment. The woman in the photograph, the one who never had a chance to speak. You try to open your mouth, to say something, anything but the words don't come. It's as if the truth has locked them away. Ryan steps closer, his eyes never leaving yours. The smile that creeps across his lips is more terrifying than anything you've seen before. It's not a smile of kindness, but of finality, of knowing. You thought you were innocent, he says softly, but you were always a part of this, from the very beginning. Your heart beats faster, the blood pounding in your ears as the threads of the story unravel in front of you. Everything you thought you knew about yourself, about the past, about the crime, it was a lie. A carefully woven lie that's now coming undone, thread by thread. You've always been part of the darkness, always. A confession without words. Ryan's words hang in the air, suffocating, heavy with the weight of years of silence. He doesn't need to say anything more. His eyes tell the whole story, the story you've been running from, the story that's been written into every moment of your life. Whether you wanted to believe it or not, you try to back away, but your feet are rooted to the floor. The realization crashes over you in a tidal wave. Everything you thought you knew about yourself, about the crime, was a lie. You've been complicit. You've been playing a role in this twisted theater without ever knowing the full script. The woman in the photograph, the night she died, the night Ryan should have died. You were all there, entangled in a web of secrets you couldn't escape. And now, the past is coming back to claim you. Ryan's face is closer now, his breath cold on your skin. His eyes gleam with something darker than hatred. There's satisfaction in them, satisfaction from watching you unravel, piece by piece. You want to scream, you want to run, but the words you're searching for are trapped somewhere between your throat and your mind. All that comes out is a choked gasp, the truth too big to fit into a single breath, and then, with a chilling calmness, Ryan reaches into his coat pocket and pulls out something you didn't expect to see again, a small crumpled piece of paper, the same paper you found behind the wall, the one with the ominous warning, "They're coming for you." His fingers stretch the paper out toward you. You take it, your hand trembling as you read the words, and for the first time, you realize the message wasn't meant for you, it was meant for him. Ryan's eyes never leave yours as you read it. He knows what's coming. He's known it all along. You don't need to say anything, Ryan says, his voice smooth and detached, as if the confession is already complete. You've already confessed everything. You stare at him, but now it's different. You can see through the mask he's been wearing, the calm exterior, the cold smile. Behind it, there's a flicker of something else, fear, maybe even regret. Or is it just the last, desperate hope that you'll still play your part? The truth is a weapon, and now it's pointed straight at you. What if the confession wasn't for you to make? What if the truth was meant to be hidden, just long enough to break you? Ryan steps back, disappearing into the shadows, leaving you standing there with nothing but the pieces of a story that has no ending. Beneath the surface, the room spins around you as you clutch the crumpled paper in your hand. The ink on it smears with the sweat gathering in your palms. your fingers slick with tension. Ryan's presence lingers, though he's no longer there. He's left, but the weight of his gaze presses in from every direction. You can still feel him, still feel the twisted thread that connects you to him. Even when there's no one else around, you turn to the door, as if the act of walking away could somehow erase everything, but it doesn't. Nothing does. Every step you take feels heavier than the last. You're drowning in the weight of your own lies, of the things you've hidden beneath the surface, hoping no one would ever look close enough to see. But now, the surface is cracking, and you're not sure how much longer you can keep the water from rising. The silence in the apartment is suffocating. The walls, which once felt like a sanctuary, now seem to pulse with the secrets they've been hiding. You know that this place, this apartment, is a reflection of everything you've buried. There's no hiding here. The shadows stretch farther than you remember. The corners darker, more oppressive. You stumble toward the window, needing to see outside, needing to feel something that isn't suffocating you. The city below looks distant, blurry through the rain-smeared glass. But even the distant lights of the city can't escape the suffocating fog that's settled in your chest. You know, this isn't just about the crime anymore. It's about you. It's about the things you've buried deep inside yourself, the things you've tried so hard to forget. You can't ignore the gnawing sensation anymore. The truth is clawing at your insides, pulling at the fabric of your life, unraveling it thread by thread. You stare out at the city, feeling a strange sense of detachment. It's as if you're no longer a part of this world. You're outside of it now, a spectator to a story that isn't even yours. The image of the woman in the photograph lingers in your mind. She's always been there, hiding just beneath the surface, waiting to be remembered. You thought you'd gotten rid of her, that you'd buried her memory deep enough to forget. But she's never left. She's just been waiting for the right moment to resurface. The floor creaks behind you, and your heart skips. You spin around, but it's just the house, the old, tired house, breathing with you in the silence. But the house has secrets too, doesn't it? The walls have been keeping things from you, things you didn't want to know. You turn back to the window, the rain tapping softly against the glass. But this time, you're not just looking out. You're looking in, into your own life, into the tangled mess of memories, lies, and hidden truths you've tried to bury. What if it was never about the crime? What if it was about everything you've tried to suppress? You want to scream, but you know there's no point. The truth will never let you go. Not now, not ever. A door you can't close. The quiet is broken by the soft sound of the door creaking behind you. You don't need to turn around to know it's not the wind. It's a presence, shifting through the air like smoke, the kind of presence that always seems to show up when you're about to lose control. Your heart races, the walls close in, pressing you from every side, and you feel it again, the heavy weight of the past, suffocating, lingering just beyond the edge of the present. You know what's waiting for you. You know what's standing there, just beyond the door you can never fully close, the door you keep trying to lock, hoping it will keep the horrors at bay. But it won't. It never has. The floor creaks as you take a tentative step back. The door stands slightly ajar now, as though it's beckoning you to open it, to face what you've been avoiding all this time. A shiver runs down your spine as you reach for the handle, your fingers cold against the metal. The door doesn't resist. It opens easily, silently, and you step into the darkened hallway. It feels longer than you remember, the shadows swallowing the light, stretching farther than you ever thought possible. You reach for the light switch, but your fingers graze the wall where it should be, and the power cuts out. There's no going back now. You can hear your breath now, shallow and quick in the darkness. Your senses heighten. You know what's coming. You've known this moment was inevitable. The truth is behind that door, and you've never been able to keep it locked away. There's no place left to hide. The hallway stretches on in front of you, an endless path that leads deeper into the unknown, into the place where the past refuses to stay buried. You don't want to walk down it. You don't want to face what's at the end of it, but you do. You step forward, and the floorboards groan beneath your weight. Your heartbeat rings in your ears. Each step feels like an eternity, each breath louder than the last. And then, when you least expect it, the whispers return. You can't close the door anymore. The voice is behind you now, just barely a murmur, like the air itself has become a part of the truth. You want to turn around, but you can't. It's too late for that. The hallway ends, and you see it another door, a familiar one. It's slightly cracked open, just like the one behind you, but this one is different. The light beneath it flickers, struggling to stay alive. A shadow moves just beyond the threshold, indistinct but undeniable. You're close, too close. You have no choice. You have to open it. But when you do, all you find is a mirror. The reflection staring back at you isn't yours. It's someone else, someone you've been trying to outrun for years. The truth was never hidden behind the door. It was always staring back at you in the reflection. What if you've always been the one you were running from? The story changes. You stare at the reflection, unable to look away. The face staring back at you is yours, but it's not. The eyes. Those eyes are empty in a way you've never seen before. You can see the cracks in your own soul, like fractures in glass, the edges jagged and raw. It's as if you're seeing yourself for the first time, and the person you've been pretending to be is no longer there. You take a step back, the sound of your foot against the floor loud in the thick, oppressive silence. The mirror flickers for a moment, the reflection distorting like water rippling in a dark pool. You blink, and when you open your eyes, the person in the reflection is gone, replaced by something even worse. It's not just you anymore. There are others in the mirror, faces from your past, blurred and twisted, their eyes following you, silently accusing. They've been there all along, waiting for you to finally see them. What if the truth was never yours to tell? What if everything you believed about yourself was a lie? You stumble back, the weight of it all crashing down on you. You try to turn away, but the reflection follows you, twisting and warping with every move you make. You want to scream, to rip the mirror from the wall and shatter it, but you can't. The truth is in the glass, in the faces that haunt you, in the shattered pieces of a life you've been trying to erase. You feel something cold press against the back of your neck. You turn around, but there's no one there, just the darkness closing in around you. The walls seem to be shrinking, the air growing heavier, and the whispers return. You can't escape. You can't change the story. It was never yours to control. The words are soft at first, just a murmur, but then they grow louder, more insistent, until they're deafening. The sound fills your head, the air, every corner of the room. You press your hands to your ears, trying to block it out, but it doesn't help. The words are inside you now, echoing through your mind. The story was never yours to change. You thought you were the one writing it, but you were only a character in someone else's tale. The story has always belonged to the shadows, to the darkness that's been watching you from the edges of your memory. The reflection shifts again, and you see him, Ryan, his cold smile, his empty eyes. But now, something's different. The smile is wider, crueler. It's a smile that knows you, knows your every fear, every secret you've tried to hide. You've always been part of the story, he says, his voice a low, echoing whisper, and it's too late to rewrite it. You close your eyes, trying to block him out, but the truth is too loud. It's everywhere. It's in the mirror, in the whispers, in the faces staring at you from the walls. It's inside you, and there's no escaping it now. The Watcher. You open your eyes again, but the world has changed. The walls are closing in, the space around you narrowing as if the apartment itself is shrinking with every heartbeat. The floor beneath your feet feels unsteady, like it's buckling under the weight of all the secrets you've carried for so long. You try to take a step forward, but your legs feel heavy, as if the very air around you is holding you down, tethering you to this room, to this moment in time where the past refuses to stay buried. You turn around again, but there's something in the corner of your eye, something or someone watching. You glance over your shoulder, but there's no one there, just shadows, stretching further than they should, curling into every corner like tendrils of smoke. You can feel the weight of those eyes on you, pressing against your skin, as if someone is watching you from the darkness. You've been watched before, but never like this. Never with the kind of intent that feels like it's digging into your soul. What if the Watcher has always been there, waiting for you to see them? You feel the hair on the back of your neck stand on end. The pressure of being watched is suffocating, and the more you look around, the more it feels like the room is closing in on you. You want to run, to escape, but there's nowhere to go. The walls are too close. The floor is too thin. There's no room left to hide. The shadows in the corner seem to shift, as if something is moving within them, stretching and twisting like a living thing. Your pulse quickens. You move toward the door, but your fingers hesitate on the handle. Every instinct tells you to open it, to escape. But another part of you knows that the Watcher is waiting for you on the other side. There's no safety anymore, no hiding. You turn back to the window, hoping the rain will clear your mind, that it will wash away the sense of dread that's been building inside of you. But when you look out, all you see is darkness. The city lights have vanished. The streets are empty, silent, as if the world has been swallowed whole. You turn back, and the shadows are closer now. In the corner of the room, you see the faintest outline of a figure. They're still, watching. What if you've always been the one being watched? What if you've never really been alone? The figure in the corner doesn't move. They don't need to. You know who it is. You know what they want. The Watcher has always been there, lurking in the background, pulling the strings. You've been a puppet, tied to their will without ever realizing it. The truth isn't just about what happened. It's about what you've become. And the Watcher knows everything. You're not running anymore. You're not hiding. The Watcher is waiting for you to face what you've done. A silent accusation. The figure in the corner doesn't move, but somehow, you know it's not just standing there. It's leaning in, closing the distance, and you can feel it. Its presence is suffocating, crawling under your skin. Every inch closer it gets, the more the room seems to constrict around you. The air feels thicker, like it's made of something darker than just oxygen. You want to scream, to lash out, but there's no sound. The words you've been choking on are caught in your throat, twisted into something unrecognizable. You stare at the figure, trying to force yourself to move, to step toward the door, to escape, but your body refuses. It's frozen in place, and the harder you try to resist, the tighter the invisible grip around you becomes. You know who it is. You know who the Watcher is. It's Ryan. It's the woman from the photograph. It's you. The room grows colder, the silence heavier. There's nothing but the ticking of the clock, a sound that now feels louder than it ever has before. It's a rhythmic reminder of everything you've done, everything you've tried to forget, and the dark secret that binds you all together. And then, just when you think you can't take it anymore, the figure moves, slowly, deliberately. It steps into the light, revealing the face you've been avoiding for so long. But it's not just Ryan's face, it's yours too. The lines are blurred now. The edges have been worn down by time and guilt. You don't know where Ryan ends and you begin. There's no question anymore. You've been the one behind all of this, the one orchestrating every move, every lie, every twist. The watcher has always been you, sitting on the sidelines, watching yourself fall apart. The figure speaks, but it's not Ryan's voice, it's your voice, cold and detached, as if it's coming from the deepest part of your own subconscious. Everyone lies, especially the quiet ones. The words hang in the air, a final accusation. They echo through your mind, through your soul, like a confession you've always known was coming, but never wanted to hear. What if you've been lying to yourself all along? What if you've been the architect of your own destruction? You try to turn away, but your feet won't move. Your eyes won't leave the figure. There's no escaping this now. The lies have built walls too high to climb, too thick to break through. You're trapped inside the very story you've been telling yourself. You close your eyes, but the image of the figure doesn't fade. The words linger in the silence, and as you open your eyes again, the figure is gone, leaving you alone with the weight of the truth pressing down on your chest. Buried truths. The silence lingers long after the figure vanishes. It's a suffocating silence, one that clings to the room like a thick fog, choking the air. You're left standing in the center of the room, unable to move, unable to breathe, as the weight of the truth bears down on you. It's a pressure you can't escape, one that you've been running from for so long. You feel the cold against your skin, but it's not just the air, it's the truth, the realization that it's all been right there in front of you, waiting for you to face it. The cracks in the walls, the whispers in the shadows, the faces in the mirror, they were all signs, all pieces of the same puzzle you've been too terrified to solve. But now, you have no choice. You have to face it. You have to dig through the layers of your own life and uncover the truths you've buried deep inside, even if it means tearing yourself apart in the process. You step toward the floor, your knees shaking with each movement. Your hand reaches down, brushing against the floorboards. The surface is smooth, but beneath it, you know there's something hidden. You've been avoiding it, too afraid to confront it. But now, you can't ignore it any longer. The floorboard creaks as you pull it up, revealing a hidden compartment. Covered in dust and old cobwebs, your heart races as you reach inside, fingers trembling. The contents of the compartment are small, insignificant looking at first, just a bundle of yellowed papers, a few crumpled photographs, and a single rusted key. But you know what these things are. You've seen them before. They're part of the story you've been trying to forget, part of the crime that has been chasing you all these years. You pick up the photograph first, your hands shaking as you stare at it. It's the same photograph from earlier, the one of the woman, smiling but empty-eyed. But this time, there's something different about it, something you didn't see before. There's a name written on the back in faded ink: Evelyn, 1994. Evelyn. The name hits you like a slap to the face. You don't know who she is, but you feel a sense of recognition, a sense of loss that cuts deeper than anything you've ever felt before. It's like she's been a part of your life all along, a shadow that you've been running from without even realizing it. You don't need to look at the rest of the papers. You already know what they are. They're confession stories from people who were there, who saw everything, and it's all connected. The truth you've been avoiding is all there, in black and white, waiting for you to face it. You want to throw it all away, to bury it again, but you know you can't. You can't hide anymore. The truth is coming for you, and it's time to face the consequences. The key lies heavy in your hand, cold and old, its rusted surface a reminder of everything you've tried to forget. You know what it unlocks, but you can't bring yourself to use it. What if the truth isn't just about the crime? What if it's about what you've become in the process? The key is the final piece, the final truth, and it's time to unlock it. The betrayal. The key feels cold in your hand, heavy with a history that isn't yours, but has become so intertwined with your life, it's impossible to separate the two. You look at it, the worn edges where it's been used before, the rusted spots where time has eaten away at its metal, and it hits you harder than anything else has. This key wasn't just meant for a door, it was meant for your own unraveling. You take a step back, the photograph of Evelyn still clenched in your other hand. Her smile is haunting, even though you don't know her, and yet you feel as if you should. You feel as though her presence has been a constant shadow on your life. Her name written on the back of the photo feels like a betrayal of its own, like someone wanted you to remember her, but you've never allowed yourself to. Not until now. The room seems to shrink again, and the walls close in, the air thick with the tension that's been building since the first whisper, since the first knock on your door. There's no escape now. The betrayal isn't just in the secrets others have kept from you, it's in the secrets you've kept from yourself. The lies you told to survive, the false truths you built to keep your life from falling apart. The truth about Evelyn, about Ryan, about the crime, is more complicated than you ever realized. You've been a part of it all along, woven into the fabric of the story without ever knowing it. And now, the truth is coming for you, and there's no way to outrun it. You walk toward the door, the one that you thought was the answer. You reach for the doorknob, the key is still clenched tightly in your hand, but the moment you touch the handle, the room seems to hold its breath. The silence stretches, thick and suffocating, until a voice pierces the stillness. You really thought you could walk away from this. You freeze. You don't need to turn around to know who it is. You've known all along. Ryan's voice. But this time, it's not the calm, cold tone from before. This time, it's laced with something else, something darker, something that feels like a threat, a promise of something worse. You look over your shoulder, and there he is, standing in the doorway, the same empty smile on his face, the same eyes that have seen too much. Everything you've done, everything you've hidden, it all comes back to me and to you. Ryan says, you betrayed everyone, even yourself. The words hit harder than any blow. It's not just the betrayal of others. It's the betrayal of the person you've tried so hard to pretend you were. The truth has never been about anyone else. It's always been about you. You want to speak, to defend yourself, but there's nothing you can say. Nothing that could change what's already been set into motion. Ryan steps forward, his face more twisted now, more monstrous. The air around you is thick with the weight of everything that's been buried. He holds up a small object, the reflection of the dim light catching on it. It's a photograph, the same photograph, the one with Evelyn, but there's something different now. There's another figure in the photo, someone standing just behind her. You know who it is. It's you. You were always there, Ryan murmurs. always hiding in the shadows, pretending to be someone you weren't. And in that moment, you realize the final truth. You were never just an innocent bystander. You were part of the crime from the very beginning. What if you were the betrayer? What if the story you've been running from was never someone else's? A reckoning. Ryan's presence is overwhelming now, a dark weight pressing in from all sides. You can't move. You can barely breathe. His eyes are locked on yours. His smile's still there, but it's different now. It's not the cold, calculating smile from before. It's something darker, something that says, he's won. He's been leading you here all along. The photograph in his hand feels like a blade to your heart. It's the same image, the same woman, but this time there's no hiding from what it means. You stare at it, at the face you've tried so hard to avoid, and the realization finally hits. This isn't just about Evelyn. This isn't just about Ryan. This is about everything. You've been part of this from the very beginning. You've always been part of it. The photograph shows you and Evelyn standing side by side. But the moment you focus on your own image, the weight of the truth crushes you. You're not just in the picture. You're the reason it was taken. You were part of the plan, part of the crime. You were never an innocent bystander. You were never the victim. You were always the architect. What if you were the one who set it all in motion? What if you were the one who made the choice to destroy everything? Ryan steps closer, the photograph still clutched in his hand. His voice is low, almost intimate. You were supposed to be the one who got away. You thought you could hide. You thought you could change, pretend you were someone else. But you never could. You were always tied to this. Always. You want to deny it. You want to scream that it isn't true, that you didn't know, that you didn't want this. But deep down, you know. You always knew. The past isn't just something that happened. It's something you've carried with you, buried in the back of your mind, hidden behind walls you thought were strong enough to keep it from the light. But the truth is relentless, and it's not going away. Ryan's eyes flicker with something else, something darker than just the satisfaction of a victory. There's a finality in them now, as if the conclusion has already been written, and there's no changing it. You've been living in a lie, he says, but the lie's over. It's time to face what you've done. The air around you feels heavier, like the world is closing in. You can't breathe, you can't think. The past is crashing down around you, and there's no escape. But there's something else now, too. A shift, a feeling, deep in your gut, that the story isn't over yet. There's still one more piece to uncover, one last truth, buried even deeper than everything you've already discovered. You can feel it. The final question you've been running from, the one you never dared to ask. What if the crime is not what you think it is? What if it's not about the people, but about the choices you've made? The truth is waiting, just on the other side of the final door. A new beginning. The weight of the truth hangs in the air, heavy, suffocating. You feel it in every breath you take, every step you try to make toward the door that looms ahead. The photograph, still clutched in Ryan's hand, feels like a hammer, beating against your skull with every word he speaks. You thought you could bury it, Ryan says, his voice low, almost soothing now. But you can't escape yourself. Not this time. You can't outrun what you've done. You close your eyes, pressing your hands to your face, trying to block out the image of the photograph, the faces of those you've betrayed, and the lies you've built to shield yourself from the truth. But no matter how hard you try, you can't escape it. It's too much to carry, too much to face. The crime, the lies, the betrayal. Everything you've run from, every mistake you've made, it all crashes together in a flood of realization. There's no place left to hide, no more rooms you can lock yourself away in. Ryan steps closer, his shadow swallowing you whole. You can feel his presence all around you, the air thick with the darkness of the truth you've always known. Deep down, Ryan says, his voice almost affectionate now, like a parent explaining the inevitable. You've been running for so long, but there's only one way out. You open your eyes and stare at him, but his face is no longer just a mask of cold indifference. It's something darker, something more intimate. It's not just about the crime anymore. It's about you, about what you've become. The guilt, the regret, the weight of every choice you've made, it's all pressing in on you, squeezing the air from your lungs. You try to speak, to find some way to absolve yourself. But there are no words, not anymore. And then there's a shift. It's so subtle, so slight, that you almost miss it. But you feel it. The truth, the darkness. It's not just a punishment, it's a freedom. The weight lifts, just for a moment. The suffocating grip of your past loosens, and in that fleeting moment, you understand this isn't the end. It's just a beginning. The lies you've lived in, the falsehoods you've hidden behind, they've brought you to this point. But they don't define you. You don't have to carry this anymore. Not if you choose to let it go. But it's not easy. It never is. The truth has a price, and you've paid it. You've lost everything: your peace, your sense of security, your identity. But in the wreckage, there's a glimmer of something new, something real. You look at Ryan one last time, and for the first time, you don't feel the weight of his gaze. You don't feel the suffocating pressure of the past. You see him for what he really is: a mirror, a reflection of everything you've tried to bury. It's over. The past is gone. And now, you can choose what comes next. What if this is just the beginning of something new? What if the crime was never the end of your story? The door creaks open before you. The darkness that's been following you for so long fades, swallowed by the first light of dawn. And as you step forward, leaving the past behind, you take one last breath, a breath that feels like freedom.